Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Reviewing Comics with me, your host, Alexander Turbin. Um, we're going to finish out the horror month of October with Black Caravan premiere of David Burns Cancelled by Scout Comics. It's a little different for the channel because it's a 2022 release, but I just got it in the dollar bin a few days ago at a local comic shop, and I wanted to give it a try. But before we get into that, I want to show you some of the stuff. It's another time, it's that time of the year where I get together with a bunch of artists and we create a calendar. And this is last year's 2023 or this year's calendar. But we have 2024 working and in the works. And I just wanted to show you guys what's going to be coming up, some of the stuff that's going to be coming up. This isn't the artwork, this is last year's. Next year's will be different. It's going to have twice as many artists, and we have some really great ones this year. Well, we had really great ones last year, but a lot more. A lot of the people are joining from last year. So, yep, here's the calendar. Also, every month I produce a comic, and it's called Random Access, and I go through a Patreon. You can get it at Patreon for $2 a month. It's a full size, full color comic, and it's only $2 to join. And like I said, it's full color. Go to patreon.com/Alexander Turbin to check that out. Or you could go to my website, alexanderturbin.com, and you can check out all my stuff there, including Mutandis and Random Access and all of the other different things I've done over the years. But let's get into Canceled. Like I said, it's a little different than what I usually do. I usually go into the older comics from the 90s and 80s and stuff. The old black and whites is what I'm kind of primarily known for. But this is a nice little comic. I wasn't really expecting much. I kind of thought it was going to be a run of the mill, kind of not really that great a thing. But actually, after I've read it, I really kind of enjoyed it. Um, is written by David A. Byrne with artists Paul. Oh my God, how am I supposed to pronounce all these weird names? Pebiku Mon, Reynanan Belamonte, Med Manga, and Nick Justice, and colorist Renan Belmonte and Trevor Rubin, and lettering by Joel Rodriguez. Um, Sorry if I butchered any of those names, but they all do a fantastic job. Um, like I said, it's published. I don't know. Black Caravan, is that just like an imprint of Scout Comics? Um, but anyway, it starts off black and white, and it's about this. I guess it was back in the 50s or 60s. This clown who was on the air, and then he was fired before he goes on to his last show that he's going to be on, and he gets all the kids all riled up, and then he goes and gets drunk, and I guess he goes to the station, and I think he picks up a pipe, and I think he's going to smash the tower, the radio tower, but then he gets electrocuted, and that's the last you hear from him. But there's still shows going on. I guess it must have been reruns, and he keeps doing his show, his clown show, and the parents are all happy because the kids are are entertained and stuff. He's juggling, kids juggling. Uh, he's talking to puppets. She's doing puppet shows. He's talking to a dog. The kid's talking to a dog. So I think what the moral of the story is that the kids are influenced not just by modern day screens, but also this is kind of like social networking for the kids back in the 50s. It was the TV. So it's basically kind of the same thing. It goes through, I'm kind of ruined a little bit, but it goes through and like it starts on TV and then it goes to the movies and then it goes to a laptop and then it goes to a tablet. So it's really kind of a discussion on media, not just social networking and stuff like that. So anyway, the clown turns evil and he gets the little kid to kill his mother, push the mother down the stairs. I kind of wish they had shown it because, no, yeah, I wish they had shown it in action, him pushing her down the stairs. It just kind of happens. He looks evil and the clown tells him to do it and he does it. Um, Doing it off screen, off panel is there's a lot to that because you kind of really have to have the setup and you have to have the payoff. And I guess this is the setup and this is the payoff. But I'm feeling like I kind of wish they had actually shown, instead of this, the clown showing it, I wish they had shown the kid pushing the mother. It's a little too much time delay between what's going on for my taste anyway. So anyway, nobody knows that it was the little kid that did it. And so you see all of these other little kids that are being influenced by the clown. So they go on a killing rampage, the little kids, and they kill all of their mothers and stuff. And the TV network, or the newspaper guy, or I don't know who it is. I think it's the TV network guy that fired the clown. He tells all of the parents that it's actually the kids that have um, killed their mothers or whatever. So they go back and they realize I'm not entirely sure exactly how this happens, but it's the kids telling the parents what they want, and the parents are afraid of them. So then one of the dads, or all of the dads, all of the parents, I don't know. They realize that it's the clown that's infecting their kids with this knowledge of killing their parents. So the clown turns from the clown back into the guy, and he's talking actually through the TV at the guy that fired him. And what does the guy that fired him do? He just turns it off. So he was canceled. So then this is really cool. This is really cool. I'm really impressed by this. Um, Canceled is actually a movie that these people have seen in the movie theater, and I'm so glad they turned it into color because it goes from this black and white TV show that's on the movie theater, and I think it's supposed to be in the 60s or early 70s. Um, so then they go along, and there's like this little story of them going on a date, having been going on a date, and they get home and there's a babysitter and they have a couple kids, and they just have this nightly routine of where they're gonna have sex or whatever, and put the kids to bed, and but they are fed too much sugar, blah blah blah. So then the TV goes on, and there's his daughter is watching TV, and he's like, "All right, go back to bed." But then she shows up on their bed with a knife, and she slaughters them. So I don't know. I'm not entirely understanding this part. It must be further into the future because that looks like a flat screen TV, but it's black and white again, and they specifically say this is in Japanese. So I think maybe this is supposed to be in a manga style. Um, I think. I mean, the eyes are a little bit bigger, but it's a kid watching TV, and he goes into his parents' room, and he sees that his sibling chopped up the parents and whatever, and that is actually on this tablet, and somebody is watching the horror movie, I guess, or whatever. And so they go through this whole thing where they're talking about menial life things. And she takes the tablet and she brings it to her daughter, and it's the clown. And he's going to get the kid to kill the mother, supposedly, I guess. And so that's how it ends. It was a nice little story. I really, really, really appreciate how they went from black and white to color to They didn't really need to go black and white. I think I would have actually. They were trying to do the manga black and white thing, but that was kind of a little abrupt. So I'm not really understanding exactly why they did that. I probably would have done something a little different. Maybe done it a different time period or something. They're trying to connect the clown with all of these different media types and social networking, and it's very Black Mirror, Black Mirror-ish, only going from the 50s and 60s through the 70s and to the 90s. So it's Black Mirror, only it's your TV as well, a TV in the movies. So it was really good. As for the art and the writing, the art is fantastic. All of the creators do a great job. I am especially impressed by the kids, the little kids. It is probably the hardest thing in the world to draw children. Their heads are too big. Their arms are too long. Their ears are too big. So just the whole thing. But these are beautifully rendered children, and this is just really a nice looking book. A nice splash page here, which is kind of breaks with the black and white. It goes into the gray tones. The narrative art is really good. The only problem I had is I couldn't really understand um, this part here. I guess it's showing how the clown is affecting the children and really telling them what to do, and they'll do it, and so they're being influenced. I guess it's early influencers. I kind of wish the writer had talked down to me a little bit and given us a little bit of exposition as to what was going on, because it's slightly unclear. But when the kids are um, brainwashed or whatever, it's great expressions on the brainwashed kids, because it goes from happy to brainwashed crazy. Um, so yeah, and then evil. So it's a full range of expressions from these children going to happy to this deranged craziness, and I really appreciate that. And also, I really love the shadows and the the black tones and stuff. So I really love the art, and the writing is pretty good. I would say that this is very plot driven and not character driven, which makes a lot of sense, because if you're going to do it, like, I assume this is a one shot. I don't know if there's more of them, but this is number one. But you don't really want to get too invested, I guess, into the characters, because they're going to just leave you after this one issue. But so the writing is very competent, and the art is very good, very good. It's top notch. I fully appreciate it. And the coloring is it looks 60s 70s ish. I love the just the kind of neonish kind of plain tones. It's so it's really cool. The only really part I didn't understand and don't really love that much is this anime manga approach to this thing. I think maybe they're trying to do like a oh, what's that movie where they The Ring? Is it The Ring, where they have it's in Japanese in the beginning? Oh no, I'm getting it all mixed up. It's the original Ring movie that's in Japanese. It's not the remake. There's no Japanese part to it. But anyway, it's a good ending for that part. And here's a nice splash pages. I like when splash pages are interspersed into the comic and not just put there for no reason. And they put them in good spots. But anyway, this is David Burns canceled, and I would appreciate, I would definitely recommend it. It's if you like horror anyway. I'm not a super horror fan, but it is what it is. Um, I would give it a solid 8. The writing is very solid, and the art is really good. Maybe the writing could have been a little bit more explicit as what's going on, because I did get a little bit confused. And if you're reading a comic and you get confused, oh my god, then I guess that's it. So thanks a lot for watching and have a good one.